Targeted individuals within communities such as myself have to endure, have to put up with a lot of unprecedented things. I mean, comparing to any ordinary, any sort of incompetent people, a competent targeted individual has to go through tens of times more struggles, more efforts to get any little bit of accomplishment. Not accomplishment to meet their day to day needs. And for that reason, I truly appreciate if there is anybody else exist like myself. I don't know of any other case, any targeted individual who exists and who is targeted within communities other than myself. So I've been judged, I've been sort of bullied by supposedly targeted support provider from different locations. Anyway, this morning I decided to flew from Dublin to Iceland to, you know, one of the main reasons was because it's a separate region, and plus it's on a global peace index, it's a number one. So I'm a peace seeker, I'm a peacemaker, and I'm striving for to get a peace and relief. Anyway, as usual, wherever I have to go, I have to go through their vague and fake assessments within communities. They could pick and choose any judges, any random judges. They could be travelers, they could be from inhabitants of the communities or anywhere. And most people, they would take pride in doing that. They would feel important about themselves. They are given something big responsibility to decide or to play with somebody's life. At the airport, obviously at the boarding gate, uh, the boarding was delayed from the scheduled time. And why it was delayed? Because during that time I was being judged by people who were supposedly waiting to get onto the plane. What I was being judged for, if I need to be tortured or persecuted the during the flight or not. And it's not the first time I've shared when I was traveling from Pakistan to back to UK about 2 months ago or so. So I was resonated, I was being electronically harassed, and I was being tortured. And I tried to, it's a color coding thing, you have to pick one. And whoever authority is associated with that color, they will become they will become bystanders. Apparently, I don't know what they do in the background, I don't know. But I really don't get any practical support either. So the airline was some play. I never traveled on that. I never flew on that carrier before. When I got to the plane after the boarding was started, I went in the far back in the seat, because in the plane, because how it works, if I'm sitting in the front or in the middle, the people behind me, they will be assigned as a judges to sort of provide triggers or signals to to torture or to mutilate me with the frequencies. It's not only in the flights, it's in the public transportations as well. In the buses or something, they are following, or they are ahead of the bus. They are sort of leading the bus, or sometimes they are ahead of the bus, carrying all those portable devices to torture me. Or sometimes they are in the bus on the upper level or in the back. So when I sit in the back, sometimes it helps because nobody's apparently judging, and nobody's uh, sort of triggering any sort of torture. The air hostess, she came up to me and she was consistent. She was pushing to go on your seat. I said, a lot of seats are empty. I'm not comfortable sitting in there. The reason was there were two Chinese young couple, probably in their early 20s, 2021. They were sitting there. And I have explained in my previous posts, previous clips, they choose minorities wherever I go. Sometimes, most of the time, they choose minorities as a judges, as a sort of R&M operators who work with the intelligence to trigger these tortures. So I was avoiding them because I knew they are the one they who have been picked up as a main sort of stalkers or main perpetrators in this particular case. So anyway, I sat somewhere in the middle rather than my own seat to avoid any form of torture. But I got very severely tortured, not only on my skulls but on my hamstrings and my thigh bones as well. They mutilate, they resonate my thigh bones to debilitate the bone marrows. I could feel that, the resonance, and it's very intense. It debilitates me. It weakens me from male's point of view, from masculine point of view. This is what their reasonings are. They use children. It was very intense until now. Now it has subsided. Um, a little bit, but they've been using children as a reasoning very, very, very often. And when they establish those reasonings, they debilitate me, they torture me, they damage me from masculine point of view. Not only with the frequencies, but with the psychedelic drugs in the edibles, using psychedelic intoxicants in the edibles, and they collaborate with the superstores or grocery stores to have those items available on their shelves because they have track of my grocery items. I buy the cheapest one because I don't have my only options are to be dependent on communities or ask them for support. Government doesn't provide money in 5 years. They did not. Now, if they do, there won't be compensation. The damage they have caused for 5 years, who's responsible for that? There is no compensation. The way they wanted to hide everything. Anyway, the the torture, after enduring torture, I knew they have put me through a lot. Now it will impact my entry into the country. When I got off here, I tried to seek entry. I tried explaining them. They refused. You don't have a Schengen visa or whatever. I said my circumstances don't allow me to apply for anything. I don't have any financial resources. I don't have a place to stay. I'm being sabotaged. I'm being persecuted. I'm being wasted. Anyway, they did not consider. So now they decided me to send back to UK. I explained them I've lived there over 4 years. So I don't know what would change now. Even if changes and if things change now, how could I forget everything what I have endured there for years? I need to go somewhere else. I need to start somewhere else. For targeted individuals, I'm repeating, they have to go through a lot to get any little bit of uh, basic needs, basic resources. I quote my example of my earning degree in the United Kingdom. A lot of very less competent students, classmates, they earn very easily, and they most of them they might be doing very probably they be doing very good jobs and leading their lives in a much better way. And I'm competent. I'm qualified, and how I am living, I hope a lot of people know about it. This kind of injustice, how I'm being wasted. What happened when I went back to my home country about over 2 months ago? For a month, they tortured, persecuted within my own uh, house, within my own immediate family, vulnerable family. And the same goes for the having companionship. Everything is staged, everything is fake, everything is just vague options. And I've explained how they use their implants, female implants, to declare sort of, I don't have that kind of, masculine point of view to attract women. They are staged in less than 1 minute. They most of them they just wind up the discussion, but they won't know I'm sleep deprived for the last over 24 hours. I'm being tortured. I'm being sabotaged. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm still I keep up with a lot of things just because this is how it is designed. People don't understand. People don't seem to understand. And you could do only so much. I mean, how many people you're gonna talk to when you already know they are fake? They're not real. The most of them they are either married, they have boyfriends, they have so the point is they just want to use you as a like a robot, like as a machine, non-stop, regardless that you're a human being and you have emotional, physical, and every all other needs like every other human being. This is how cruel beast these MIs and these intelligence and these certain sort of in the name of national security, these people they work and use communities. How they how these like sort of inhuman animals are animals. I like I said, I use this word as a symbolically, but animals obviously they are innocent creatures. So there is no really apparent options. It's just running into the circle, back and forth, not getting anywhere. A lot of people don't have any skill sets, don't have any uh, qualifications, don't have much of competency. They're freely moving around. They are living, very lives with full of abundance. Look at me.